like
Our
financial
what if the podcast
independence.
is what makes us rich?
Please like, share, subscribe to the podcast. I'm going to do a shout out to one of our friends
Who
who
is that?
called you out on the group and said, "It's every 2 weeks you used to ask for what people are doing."
So I think it's with
1, 2, ready, go.
Unveiled
Voices. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Unveiled Voices. If you are new here, you should know that my name is Mariam and I have here with me my co-host.
Anifa.
And welcome and thank you for tuning in to Unveiled Voices. Just as a bit of a reminder, Unveiled Voices is that platform where we are all about amplifying Black Muslim women voices. We talk about things around spirituality, sisterhood, community, work life, fun sometimes. We try to have fun. So welcome. And if you are not joining for the first time, thank you for coming back and riding with
You're
us.
joining for the first time. Why?
Why? Where have
Anyway,
you
you can
been?
watch all the other episodes. Welcome.
Yeah, how have you been though? Are you fine?
Yeah. I've been good. I think the podcast is actually one of my, I guess, like something I'm actually proud of doing.
Aww.
So it's always
Are
like
you proud that you're doing this with me? Let me put you on the
Like
spot.
that's too specific.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't do emotion.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
I'm glad to be doing the podcast.
Aww.
Anyway,
With me.
wait,
Wow.
I'm feeling good to say. Yeah, I think it's actually I wouldn't say we were like super close before starting the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, which I guess in the process of the podcast we've like gotten to know more about
Yeah,
each
I
other, and
agree.
so yeah. So the process of creating this podcast is actually us also becoming more like
Even better things like sometimes I listen to the podcast and I'm like, yeah, this
I
is
never
also
listen to us. I can't.
I do,
I
I
mean,
do.
from when I did
I
like
actually
which I
do.
don't edit
I
also.
do, and then it's like me
I
advising me.
cringe when I
No,
hear
I
my own
actually
voice. I
no,
hate
I
it. If I
actually do.
could mask my voice,
You would know.
I would probably listen then.
Oh, my voice is so nice, so I like listening to
I
my
don't know
voice.
if it's that it's not. I just feel like weird hearing myself talk.
No, but I also think, yeah, I agree with you that the podcast is one of the things I'm proud of. One, I'm proud of it
What's your evidence that you're proud of?
because I've been consistent. I've not woken up.
With recording it.
I've not woken up and I've messaged you that, Oga, I don't even. Yeah, so I mean, I think I have a track record of consistency, but it's also because of the fact that again, when we had the conversation of the podcast, it that turned out that it was something you were thinking about. In fact, you had even started doing something in that line before, and I was thinking about it. So it was like us just aligning on this shared interest and just making it work.
Yeah.
And to your point as well, we've come this far, so it also shows that this is something we are really willing
And the
to
fact
put
that we're
into.
like picking up audiences
I agree.
organically.
I
It's
agree.
like, maybe
Yeah.
we're not so crazy.
Yeah,
You know, sometimes you have some thoughts and it feels like everyone around is like,
What I was
but then yeah, you hear it from like 10 miles away on the
and you're
internet.
like,
And you're
yes,
like, okay,
this is it.
I
This is
found
what
my
I
people. So it
was.
feels incredibly good to
Mhm.
be validated in that.
Yeah.
Some of his thoughts that may not be popular actually make sense, right? But yeah, thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah.
Keep sharing.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So like I said earlier, some of the things we discussed are around like spirituality, also as like being Muslim women, because these days, I mean, you have to just be careful about what you listen to and what you hear about, like as being a Muslim
Like
woman.
what?
Muslim women Twitter, be Muslim Twitter and everything.
Whoa, like what?
Like
a lot is happening.
people just having opinions about like people projecting what and who a Muslim woman should be, not backed by the Sunnah or whatever, just because of
backed by vibes.
just backed on what they feel.
Exactly. A loud opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Them just feeling
that.
that this is what I should like, this is what it should be, and then they're just being like that. So well, so like we said, we've had like conversations around spirituality, all of that. So I think this episode is also going to like touch a bit about that, how we're navigating spirituality as Muslim women. So probably one of the reasons
Is it just spirituality though?
Maybe like well-being,
Mm,
day-to-day living
yeah, we've never done an episode
on
on
well-being.
it directly, right? I don't think
Mm,
we have. We just
touched
grazed
about
around it.
around
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think it's a natural next episode from
Mm-hmm.
what we discussed last in terms of
Yeah.
like work, fumbles, handling things
Yeah.
like that, ups and downs. So yeah.
Yeah. So again, one of the reasons I wanted to have this conversation is around how we all know that we have like human faces, and there
Mm,
are sometimes you're on human eyes, and there are
yeah.
sometimes you're just like, "Ugh, what exactly is it?" Like you're at your lowest and all of that. But again, at the back of our minds is always like the reminder that Allah has created us for one and one purpose only,
Hmm.
to worship Him. So there's also the bit of where we are humans, right? But Allah is a Ghafur, and He would always like forgive us.
Hmm.
He's always there for us. He's our Rahman. He's merciful. So picking ourselves back from that
Hmm.
low levels and all of that. I'm sure most of you would have been able to like relate to this. Maybe times when you feel like you're doing everything, and it just still feels off. Like you're just
Mm.
like tired, like every day turn into week turn into months. Sometimes they're just like getting by literally, and you're just like, okay, it's today's another day, I'm awake, let's just do what we need
I
to do.
think maybe as you're talking,
Mm-hmm.
like something else popped into my
Mm-hmm.
mind, and it's like this doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? Like
Mm,
the fact that you wake up and you feel tired, you feel exhausted, you're like, yet another
mm-hmm.
day. What leads to that actually? Like what causes that feeling?
um so a couple of things I've picked up from like different things I've listened to, and like around the subject, maybe like bits of it.
Hmm.
We live in a world now where there's a lot of things that we are consuming, consciously or subconsciously.
Mm.
So you wake up, you go on WhatsApp, you check WhatsApp, maybe the first thing you see is okay,
Hmm.
maybe one TikTok challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You go to the next slide, you see, or there is an air crash that happened.
Mm.
That's saddening.
Mm. Mm.
You go to the next one, you see somebody saying, oh, um I'm pregnant or I gave birth or something. Then that's another slide. Then you go to the next one. Somebody's ranting about Lagos traffic.
Basically, a lot
Yeah, there's a
emotions
lot. So
coming in
not
at you.
necessarily.
Your own.
Yeah, and then you now add layer of it of probably you're waking up around 5 a.m. because you need to catch a bus
A
going to
boss or a
Lagos,
friend or
and all of a sudden you're just like, what the hell is this life?
mhm.
Like, what is
So
this?
that speaks to the mental
Yeah, yeah.
exhaustion
So
rate. Mhm.
because again, and there's also again, one of the things I've seen is we, in terms of our relationship with Allah,
Mm.
most of us tend to fear Allah more
Mm.
than actually loving Him more and
Mhm.
seeing what the mercies is capable
Mhm.
of. And again, it's by probably by the design of how we were brought up,
Mm.
where society, religion, any small thing is how God will punish you, or God
It
would.
even starts, I think, from like Arabic school.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
didn't go to the
Mhm.
conventional like
Mhm.
Ileke was
Yeah.
as it was then, but what we knew was that like if you made mistakes, they
Yeah,
would
like this.
physically beat you.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
imagine that being associated
Yeah.
with when you're supposed to be learning
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
deen.
So some of us probably grew up with not praying is grounds for, I mean, yeah, there could be ways to instill that discipline in
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
but it was always from the fear of, oh, my dad must not catch me that I've not prayed, because if
Mm.
he probably catches
Not
me,
because
not
I want to
because, oh,
pray
I want
because
to
I
pray
want to
because,
actually talk to
yeah, because I
Allah
want to,
subhanahu wa
exactly, but I
ta'ala.
want to
Yeah.
build that
I want to
connection.
meet Allah
Yeah.
subhanahu wa
Now in
ta'ala.
our adult years, when we've now outgrown that if I don't pray, my daddy will beat me kind of thing, is now okay, what is your motivation for praying?
Mm.
So some of us are just having to like actually relearning the point of view of where you want to pray from. Okay, I'm praying because I want to have this connection with my God.
Mhm.
But again, we're already at that age where society and life is already throwing all sorts at us. So
Mm.
there's just a lot. And even most times when you feel, okay, it's 5 minutes, I'll pray my subhi, Zura, Asri, Shah, Maghrib, or it's Ramadan, I would fast. But because of what and how society is at you at that point in time, you're just doing, you're not feeling. So yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
Yeah, so there is always that need to like pause, and I think that's the bit where we are probably different. For some people, it's easier for them to catch on early on to say, okay, I think I'm already at this exhaustion point. Yeah. What do I need to do to switch? What do I need to, okay, is it that when I wake up in the morning, I don't need to go first into my WhatsApp or my Instagram or whatever. Maybe I just ease out into the morning, have a clear head and all of that. For some people, it's an harder thing figuring that out, because in the first place, they're not even sure. They don't even see it necessarily as, oh, this is an exhaustion point. And then over time, it compels into, I think I'll just sit it out today. Maybe I don't pray today. Maybe I don't fast today. And then over time. So that's answering your question on, it doesn't necessarily happen in a vacuum. It's definitely builds
Something
up. Yeah,
is
yeah,
causing the way
yeah,
a lot of people are
yeah.
feeling.
But as Muslims, I think we should always be conscious of knowing when we get to that point, and also already having like strategies on how we want to bring ourselves out of that point. Good. So like switching gears a bit on how, so when I was talking earlier on, I talked about how for most of us we grew up like doing this act of worship just because, oh, if I don't do it, my dad will beat me and all of that. And maybe now in our adult years, we are having to like unlearn and relearn why exactly we are doing this. Do you have like, maybe at one point in time, or maybe are currently having that, maybe like one act of worship that you used to really love, for is now starting to look like, just ticket.
I don't know that there is
Yeah.
one, actually.
No, obviously there are times where maybe on Solar one would struggle with Kusho, and you probably make mistakes.
We should do an episode on.
There was one day I was prayed, and I think I
What were
made,
you thinking of?
I can't remember. I'm sure it's probably maybe something, but that, when I realized my mistake, and I had like a time freeze period of, like, okay, just continue and you do your Koblia or Badia and that. But then I was just like,
Again, we should do an episode
I
on
was just,
Salah,
I was just
because
like,
you are naming some
yeah,
things, like some people will be like,
I
hey.
was just like, nah, let me
So you
just,
kind of just got lost.
yeah, I was just like, let me just start
What
again.
was what made you?
It was necessarily what was happening. I think it's just the was the whisperings of
That's
like
when
the
you're
noise,
thinking of
because
something
that's when you're probably thinking, oh my god, this idea, oh my god, this, oh my god, that, oh my god,
when you're in
this.
front of me.
Exactly. So
Actually, something comes to mind. Not, and this is probably common to everyone. So I've told the story of like how when I got to uni, I started covering my hair. You know, my mom started questioning that. Okay, why am I? She even still asked me recently that, oh, do I not tie scarf sometimes? And I was just like, I was weak.
Mommy, I'm fasting already.
Where do I even start after all these years? Anyway. So before then, like, so I'd done my first walima for like reading the entire Quran. I think sometime in secondary school, my junior secondary school or something like that. And I never covered my hair. Like I would just carry my head up and down. And like when you're a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't know better, right? So I remember my mom would keep saying something like, you want more to Quran, you want more to Quran, you want more to Quran. So me not covering my hair at the time wasn't even because of any sort of like, oh, I think I'm beautiful without my hijab, or oh my god, it's such a stressful thing. It was just that I didn't know better.
Yeah.
So that is an example of something where I would actually dread sometimes going out, and maybe my afa seeing me on the road without like
so it was more from the fear of my afa would
yeah, but
I think most
even
of us
at
grew up with that,
right? So it was an example of like when I guess faith became like fear driven for me. Of like, okay, I'll pass this area
so that I will not jam.
Yeah, instead of somebody
I did that too.
Was it because of like covering your hair as
Yeah,
well?
like okay, I will not pass in front of our far house. I will
Yeah.
not have to take the longer route.
Yeah.
Actually, in retrospect, that was
It's
dumb
crazy,
thinking.
yeah. And the funny thing about it is that when I eventually ended up wearing like covering my
Mm-hmm.
hair and then using the scarf in this way, nobody actually really told me to do it. It was me that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just learned when I was like, oh, okay, we should be doing it.
Great.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a verse where I said,
Yeah.
okay, on it.
Yeah.
So the point I want to bring out there is that sometimes we actually just perform like spirituality because we fear that someone will see us, someone would judge us.
Mm-hmm.
This is not to say don't do that thing,
Yeah.
right? Especially with the conversation around the hijab, I think is one of the biggest tests for a lot of women
Muslim
for
women.
very different
Yeah.
reasons. Some people, it could be that their test is being very beautiful
Mm-hmm.
and they want to show this
Yeah.
beauty. They want to show it in a way that enhances it a lot.
Yeah,
So
and they feel the hijab is not allowing
it's
them to do that.
confining them.
Yeah.
Some people, it's that they have amazing bodies
And
and
they're like, I have to
they
show
cannot,
this.
some people, it's their personalities. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like, if I wear the hijab, people don't talk to me because they have a preconceived
Conceived
notion.
notion
So I'm
of
not going to
Muslim
wear it.
women.
Some people, it's that
It will limit the opportunities I'll probably
oh
get
my god, some
along the
people, it's
way
that I'm in certain spaces where I just feel odd when I
if I
do
wear
it,
it. So, yeah.
And to this, the answer is not to jump into it. The
Mm-hmm.
answer is to actually seek knowledge, understand
Understand.
why Allah is saying that do this. If you
Yeah.
don't understand it, pray about it that okay, yeah, Allah, make it easy for me.
Yeah.
Because I think when it comes to matters of faith, which is when I see some conversations online, I just laugh that look, there's no way you're going to convince yourself that this is the right thing to do just by yourself.
Yeah.
There are
It
some things
takes a
that is
lot.
like Allah said it, okay, we move.
I mean, it did not start that mistake.
It's
Okay.
like, okay, that's what Allah said. That's what the person who
Yeah.
created me said. That's what my Lord. Okay, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what anybody says. So it has to get to that level for some of us.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've seen is when people jump into certain things, like out of fear, out of what will other people think of me, they jump back out the
Yeah.
same way. So
Yeah.
the lesson here is let's be more measured. Let's actually try to learn all of this acts of ibadah
Mm-hmm.
from a perspective of okay, I'm trying to please my
Mm-hmm.
Lord, and make dua about it, and may Allah make it easy for
I
us.
mean, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
um, is there anything that you've cut back on or you stopped doing, but because of that you feel closer to Allah or you feel more spiritual off the back of that?
I think I've cut back on music
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Yeah.
If you know me like very well, I love rap music.
When I knew that, I was just like, this
You were
story.
judging me,
I,
eh?
I was like,
May Allah make it
it's,
easy
it's
for you.
not judging. It's just that I was
So
like,
when I recently tried to remember why.
you liked it.
So I remember that I had like not uncles because the relationship was my grandma's brother,
Mm,
his own kids. So I don't know
mm.
how to describe that. You guys should figure out.
Figure out the family tree.
They would sometimes visit us,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll put this DMX, Jay Z in the. So it
Yeah.
wasn't even my parents. So it wasn't
My
even
dad likes Celine Dion, so
Celine Dion is I guess R&B or something. And
yeah,
again,
yeah.
maybe we can say that's the lyrics of some of those
Well,
R&B where
yeah,
what
cool.
is rap doing?
The-
Gang, kinikon, kinikon.
yeah.
Rap has I mean, the real rap when it started probably was
Mm-hmm.
more poetic.
But
But as
now
far
it's,
as
it's
like,
just
it's more gang stuff, is more.
anything to make it
So I would
rhyme.
say with music, a lot of people would see, they'll say, oh, it's not explicitly haram. My answer to that is always,
You should listen to
what
what
is
are
the
you
lyrics?
listening to?
Let's even say, okay, let's start with anything that is putting some weird messaging in your
Yeah, head.
mind, you need to cut it off.
Yeah,
Otherwise, and I read one thing somewhere where it's very hard for the Quran
and
and those
music.
types of music to exist
Yeah.
side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, it's true.
Very true.
You can, if you pay attention to it well, the more you dial up on it, you are dialing back on the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
You're dialing back on the pondering over the words
Yeah.
of your Lord. So I would say for me, like definitely less music, at least less paying attention to the trends.
So why do you think? Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Like not knowing, okay, somebody maybe you see on Twitter
They
somebody
say
released
one about
album.
I
Okay,
did not know.
I
Even if you
wasn't.
won't see these things,
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons why TikTok has.
that was what I was going to
Because
say. I think that's
sometimes I will even be singing some.
you've not necessarily listened. You've not necessarily
Even though the
listened
song,
to the song, but because of TikTok.
no, but
Yeah,
I know this thing. Can you see how powerful?
yeah,
Like we should actually be scared. I think this is something that changes brain chemistry.
yeah.
I don't know if the actual studies into it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good to be cautious.
So, but okay, why do you think? I think you kind of already answered that on how it made you closer because yeah, you dialing back on
Something
the
has to fill that
rap.
space. So
Yeah,
what is
exactly.
filling
So
that
what's
space?
filling that space
You
for
know,
you?
more tafsir, more Dr. Shay,
Yeah,
Anifa, more podcasts, even
mm-hmm.
if it's tech podcasts, like
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
more actual active listening
yeah,
on things that better my soul or
mm-hmm.
better me in my career, or
Yeah,
just it might even be just funny stuff.
yeah,
So, for example, I was watching Variety on Variety, which
mm-hmm.
is when they bring
Mm-hmm.
actors, and there was particularly one with Dave Chappelle and Mo Amir.
Mm-hmm.
These are people in Hollywood. They're
Yeah,
Muslims. I'm
yeah,
not saying they are the best
yeah,
representation of
mm-hmm.
Muslims, but I think one thing always interests me when I see Muslims in certain spaces. You know, these are people that are very pro Palestine. I
Yeah,
think Mo Amir probably has some roots or something, and
mm-hmm.
he has a show on Netflix, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, wait,
Yeah, yeah. It's
and
yeah
they are very
existing
pro.
in this space.
So sometimes it even gives you that time to explore things that there's no way I would have known who these people are
Yeah,
if I'm just all day listening
into
to.
rap. Yeah, I
Do you
agree.
understand
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah,
Okay.
anything you have done yourself.
I mean, yeah, music for sure is one. But even before I made that conscious decision, I think I just had a natural dislike for songs that had like all this vulgarity and all of
Mm,
that because I was just like, why?
mm.
Like, why? So even at the time when I was like actively listening to music and all that, you could my
It,
playlists were
it
always like
tilted towards
curated. Yeah,
more.
like me being selective in
Mm,
what I
mm,
was
mm.
listening to. But then ultimately, I'm just like, okay, fine. Like, let's just. But yeah, you had a valid point on TikTok because you say you don't.
I think it's
You,
bad for the brain.
you say you don't want to. Yeah, because you're literally
I think it's
scrolling and yeah, 5 seconds of stuff. Me, I'll make it
yeah.
easy for
I
but
want to
still,
actually
it
go
still
radical. I'm
works.
still trying to figure
Yeah.
out. I want to go radical where I just have a flip phone for the most part, but
Nah, I don't
I've
think you
not
can.
figured out because me,
In this age and
I'm
time,
even a very bad navigator. Like if no Google Maps, how am I going
do
to?
you get
Yeah,
so
I don't
like
know,
in
but
this age and time, you just need to,
mm-hmm,
and this is what we need the Muslim tech founders to think around.
mm-hmm.
It's not every time. Again, don't drag me.
Payments.
Payment or dating sites like oh
Oh my
Muslims
God,
they
what do you have
prefer.
against the dating sites? I have people that found their
I'm
spouse
not saying it's not good, but I'm saying they are more fundamental.
1,000
They are
million
more
dating sites.
fundamental Muslim.
But marriage is half of the deal.
Okay,
If we have gotten
I
like
rest my
first to
case.
talk about marriage,
I
right?
rest my case. I rest my case. But I'm just saying, like, these are actual societal issues that need solving for. Yes, marriage is half of the thing. I'm not disputing that, but it's not
Mhm.
everything that has to be um
Yeah.
dating site and all that.
So Muslim tech founders, get back in your bag.
I'm in my founder
Solve
area.
our problems.
I'm in my founder area. We need a COO.
You know, there was an app, I can't remember the name. Was it Jibril app or something? It's from the people that made pillars
Okay.
also.
No, I think probably that too. Is it pronounced Tajweed pronunciation? No.
Pillars is the
The app.
prayer
Yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
But this one is about fake and the new
Oh,
app.
okay.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's
oh,
cool.
this
I've
is
seen,
good.
I've seen,
This
I've
is
seen
good.
that too is using leveraging AI to help you correct your touch rate. So
I'm
that's
afraid of AI in. So the thing will not go and sneak in something
again
wrong.
exactly. So this is where we need them. I found myself asking ChatGPT Islamic questions, and I've
Before the
had
thing will
to
tell you that
exactly. I've had
it's
to
this
like.
way, not this
So
way.
if it gives me a Quran verse and it says I need some, I'll just like okay,
Yeah,
fine. I'll let you check my Quran verse. So exactly. But this is where we need
So
Muslims to
I have an
play in.
international think that when it comes to the Quran, the Hadith,
You don't need to bring level of
no,
AI to it.
I don't. I'm not saying no, but I think that
We need to be careful.
people should not wait for crutches to interact with the Quran and the Hadith. Like there are apps that is just Quran. So why are you not using that? I'm not saying you can't ask questions or retrieval or fix up, but I feel like I'll be careful with
asking point
because
blank.
even before people are not even they're not really, if it's someone that is already super familiar with the Quran and you're just trying to get a specific you can quickly say
this is not looking it's not looking
like this, I'll take, but you don't know anything about it, you can't check, you just put it online, mislead people, so that make it easy for us.
I mean,
what next?
How do you rest? Actually, I'm going to do a shout out to one of our friends who called you out on the group and said, "It's every 2 weeks you used to ask for what people are doing."
So I think it's reflective of the era I'm in. I'm actually so I've had phases where, how much do I want to share here? So I've had times where I was sleeping a lot.
Seriously?
Not recently. It's been a while due to health reasons. Like, I literally had to be sleeping. Like my body.
Forced sleep, or you just had to find yourself?
I was tired all the time. I don't want to. Okay. Yeah. Then I got better. And I was normal for a while. When life happened, I was having difficulty sleeping because I was thinking a lot of things. Right? And since then, I've never fully recovered.
So going back to that,
just at will, I'm sleeping, I'm resting.
I can't remember the last time I had that.
Then I used to like boast that any small thing I don't fold, I don't sleep. Now, if I like, I should think 1 million things before I sleep.
You know all those kind of sleep that you would wake up and you see lines on your lines on your
lines, like physical lines.
The last time I slept like that was probably in university. I'm not exaggerating.
Do you think I actually need that. Why do you think we are struggling so much with rest as a concept? Because that's what I think the problem is.
Okay, because for one, there was one day when it was a weekend and I just said to myself, I think I was off solar or something, so I didn't need to probably wake up early. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep in 12 o'clock before I stand from this bed. I switched off my alarm. My alarm. Tell me why by default 5:30 I was already awake. And that's because
your body is
exactly. That's what I was saying. That, but what my body not remember?
But what can it not go back to?
But I said I wanted to sleep until 12, and I could not sleep. I was just tossing on the bed, and by 8 I just said, okay, fine, we'll try again another day. But it's also reflective of the era we are in now, where we are the new adults. We are the one making rent decisions. We are the one making, how much your savings have to be decisions. Before, when I was sleeping like that, I was having
for women too, there's an added layer, right? So a lot of women have kids.
And they have to be responsible for them.
Yeah, not just that. A lot of women also have jobs along
the kids.
They are also home kids. So there's just a lot of responsibility. And there's a saying I've heard before of okay, if I don't do it, it will not get done.
Yeah.
Which means if that's what you're internalizing, you can't actually rest. So it's coming from somewhere of there's just so much responsibility to go around. And so you faffing around, you resting can feel guilty,
I'm supposed to do this for my child.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to
but I think we should actually be conscious about reclaiming rest.
Yeah.
Resting without feeling guilty. Even if it's just one day
of not going all hard.
2 weeks where squeeze everything you need to squeeze into the previous day, or just clear, or even some hours, or even 15 minutes for me to just sit down and be. Or middle of the day, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to take 30 minutes walk.
Yeah.
We need that detachment. It might not be sleep like we used to do, but we need a way to just decompress.
I think one of the things I also miss is, so there's also, whether we like it or not, we're all addicted to our phones. I think at this point, everybody should just give up already. We're not necessarily
fried all our brains.
Because I don't, if it's not because of we're recording podcasts, you probably would have.
That's why when I go on those walks,
You probably would
I actually make conscious effort
to not take your phone. But my point that I wanted to make is one of the things I miss is I remember, again, I always make reference to my 16-year-old me.
If you
Because
can't listen to
oh yeah, we have an episode of
listen
16-year-old me. I remember I used to. So again, I grew up in Nigeria where light is not like a constant case. So if you see light, happy. If you don't see light, you have to figure out what to do without light.
Mhm.
And I remember like either so my room in my house was like at the back of our house, so it was like far away from like the noise
Hustle
or
and
whatever.
bustle.
So it's like calm. We had a backyard. We had like trees. It was always calm, deep breeze, and all of that. And I have like memories of me just lying out on my bed, looking out the window, feeling the breeze, seeing the trees move, and me like just fantasizing on how my future would be. And I could literally do that for like 2 hours and just like thinking. I tried to do it the other day,
You
like
choke.
just lie down and just think.
So what came to your mind?
Oh my god,
what's happening on TikTok?
What was happening on TikTok? I was thinking of, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm going to work tomorrow.
Why am
I
I
probably
here?
need to meal
Hey,
prep.
wait.
This work that I was doing. Okay, if I do this and this.
Sharp.
And in like 2 minutes, I was just like, oh my god, like, can you just pause and just let me be and just enjoy the stillness of time. So that's why most times when I'm on vacation, I'm always like very blissful and happy because
that's when you truly can.
I actually go into that zen
how many
mode.
vacations do we get in a year?
I want to go 2 times, 6 times, twice.
Anyway, the point here is that like rest doesn't have to be earned. You can just do things. You can just rest.
Yeah.
It's not selfish, it's sacred. Again, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes, so, that's very important.
Guys, actually, this is an assignment for you.
How
do we rest?
Yeah.
Go and do it. I think it's also a call to action for like people that are friends with like someone that has a lot of responsibilities. It's always tempting to push everything on them. But like there's nothing there if you just do you think I should help you do this? One of my friends actually like very independent in an annoying way. If she's listening to this, she will know. Shout out to you. There was a time we were planning something, or we were planning to buy her something. Before I knew it, she don't buy it. I'm just angry. That why can't you just leave this? Okay, want to procure. You said you like this thing. Okay, don't worry. You just went pew. You've called all the vendor. Let us do something for you. So I actually had to give her lashings. Guy, like, I know you're an independent person, but chill. Let's take care of you. Yeah. Let's do this for you. So it's a call to action for husbands, wives, friends, enemies. You know that this person is actually taking on too much. Yeah. Give them a breather. Yeah, like help them. Take something off their plate. Yeah. That friend that's always planning the holiday. You too plan. Plan. Or the friend that's always hosting. You too. Yes. Guys. Yeah. So like you said, rest. We need to claim rest. How do you guys actually rest? Yeah. I'm on a mission. I've said it every 2 weeks. I'm in my soft life. Give me tips. I want bone deep relaxation that will feel like I've tried spa. I'm not sure it's relaxing for me. Spa that someone gave me a massage on my body. I'm not sure it's relaxing. Oh my god, did I ever tell you the story about a wedding where I did facials? For the first time, I'd gotten my skin to cooperate by doing like a series of green pills before leaving. That's how when we got to Nigeria, my staff paid for me to just do full body. They said facial is involved. Me too, I carry my shiny face. To go and do facials. On my wedding day, I had like allergic reaction all over my body and my face. Insane. But I was determined to enjoy that. So I look good. So I wasn't even bothered. But guys, be careful with some of the methods of resting. I think you already alluded to it, but maybe just throwing the question at you again. What would softer life look like for Anifa? Wait, would your softer life still involve you working? Yes, in some way. It doesn't have to be like a 9 to 5 though. I think one thing that has changed So when I was still early in my career, I
Mm-hmm.
was just coming up, and I would see some people that they'll just choose not to have a 9 to 5.
You'll be like, what's
In my head,
going
I'm
on?
like, you're
Why the
you're
early?
crazy. So
Why the early?
I feel like as you grow older,
Yeah, like
your view expands,
mm-hmm.
because you know that that person that isn't doing a 9 to 5 might actually have like
Might even be richer
some
than you.
100%, 100%. But I think there's also the second side of acknowledging that it's actually a privilege for
Yeah.
you not to need to work.
Work.
Not a lot of us have that privilege,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
my background, where I was coming from, I
I
had
had
things that
to.
was pushing me.
Yeah.
It wasn't in a vacuum.
Yeah.
So on both sides, I feel like there needs to be grace for people
Mm-hmm.
that actually have to work. But to answer your question, in some way, madam has to, it has to be
Yeah.
good life, eh?
I think for me, softer life would involve, like you said, not like having a strict
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5. Like I can choose to work whenever I
Mm-hmm.
want to work.
Mm-hmm.
It would also involve me having more time, which would already be freed up because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing 9 to 5,
Yeah.
to explore all of my hobbies.
Mhm.
So getting more
A
time to
question comes
travel,
to mind, but finish.
getting more time to travel, getting more time to paint, getting more time to spend with my friends, get more time to
Mariam actually is an artist,
yeah, I'm an
so we need
artist.
to put some of your pieces.
When last time I
Are you going to
painted?
do a special one for Unveiled Voices anniversary? So we just
Usa,
put
Usaku,
it, yeah, and
Usaku
then
back.
yeah, that would be quite nice.
So yeah, yeah, to spend more time with my friends, spend more time with family. Yeah,
Yeah.
just enjoy life and
So I think, do you feel like you know what your big, because you know everybody wants to have this big life purpose or goal. Do you have that your one thing that you're like, this is my dream? Like, do you even know?
I've come to the bit of realization of we're just here for a passing time,
Mm.
like whether we
Of
like it or
course,
not.
if someone even gets to like
Yeah.
60,
Hmm.
you're probably
So the first thing, my big life goal is I want to leave my prints on the sands of time.
what does that
But
mean?
exactly,
Oh my
exactly.
god. Don't do that to me. Like, what is this?
I'm gonna leave my prints on the sands of time.
Mhm.
But what does that mean?
Mhm.
Is now what
Boil
is
it
yet.
down for people like
Yeah,
me.
what is yet to be defined. I mean, me doing this podcast is already leaving my prints on the sands of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the how and the how is what needs figuring
Yeah,
out.
it's
I think I want to be remembered as a good Muslimah,
mm-hmm,
imperfect though.
mm-hmm,
I want to be remembered as a good wife, mother, friend,
mm-hmm.
daughter.
Yeah.
I want to be remembered as somebody who is also like a force to reckon with in my field,
Mm-hmm. Your career.
my career. I also want to be a sort of um I won't say role model because I don't
Hmm.
particularly like the term role model,
Yeah.
but somebody people look at and be like, okay, this person did it, then I can as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, leaving my
So I
footprints
think
on the
for
sand of
me,
time.
right, one of the markers of soft life for
Mm-hmm.
me is even having that flexibility to be able to figure out
What's the soft life?
what's your big
Yeah,
thing, what's that thing you.
yeah.
So in some way this podcast, which
Mm-hmm.
is why it's so dear to me, and I'm like
We
10
go.
toes down at the
There you
back of it,
go.
is that ever since I was young, like, did you know when I was in secondary school, I made a magazine with my friends. I don't have a copy of it because we moved houses and all. But yes, like, my shout out to Ruth Ojegwade and Mariam
Wait,
Olaoyele, if
wait.
I remember. We made magazines, we bought cardboard, we were so creative. And that's the kind of person I am. I feel like because I went into like STEM, I haven't explored any of that.
That creativity.
And
Mm-hmm.
even back then, it's always been something about, okay, getting other people to see things that they probably were not thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
I've also tutored, that, like,
Mm-hmm.
though it was like coding
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but I loved it so much that I kept saying I wanted to have a school then.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when you have the room to try different things,
You
you
actually
will
find out
eventually stumble on, oh
what
my
is the
god,
this is
all
like what I
along, this
love.
is the thing.
Yeah.
I was working towards. I also feel like for presence of mind in acts of ibadah, your life cannot be
this chaos every
there
day,
has
every
to
night.
be. Do you understand what I mean? So for me, the marker of soft life is when I have room to do those like things. When my ibadah is like okay, and then when I can just up in the afternoon and say I'm going on a 30 minute walk
We
as
need to
well.
step up our fire then. Like
What
fire, financially, financial
what if the podcast
independent.
is what makes us rich?
Please like, share, subscribe to the podcast.
Anyway, a question for our audience is to we talk about when we have this, but actually have you thought really about what soft life looks for you?
For you.
Please don't come here and say what's the one that people say again.
Yeah. What's the term they use?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I didn't sabi. Anyway, don't come and give us the straight to Uru answer.
Yeah.
Think about it very
Yeah.
well.
Um.
Um okay, for our listeners,
Mhm.
tell us your ways of reclaiming rest. Tell us about some of the acts of ibadah you've left for the
Mhm.
sake of Allah that have made you better.
Mhm.
Tell us about maybe even some of the things you're struggling with.
Mhm.
um Tell us your Eid stories. I want to
Yeah.
hear your Eid stories
Yeah.
and how it was fun or not so fun for you.
Yeah.
But here we're gonna make a dua. May Allah bless all our efforts.
Amen.
May Allah bless the stillness. May
Amen.
He also remind of that us that we're also already enough as we are, even with doing less.
Yeah. Come to
I don't know where this coffee is coming
sorry.
from.
Us coming to him as we are. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
very good one. That's a
yeah.
very good one.
Thank you.
So thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to share.